What's going on, guys? It is History of Scarface this week, and this is only a one shot. This is going to be a one shot series that you'll get throughout the histories of. There's going to be a few one shots, so we're going to be learning about Scarface today. And this has become one of Paul and the 619's new favorite Batman villains since we've been reading his stuff in Detective Comics and learning more about him on Gotham City Lights podcast, where you can check us out on Fridays. But yeah, let's dive right in. So, Scarface is the name given to one or several ventriloquist dummies. Used by the ventriloquist, the puppet personifies the ventriloquist's deceptive or deceptive identity disorder. Holy, that's a tough word there. Which often acts as a violent personality and counterbalance to the villain's typically more timid one. Scarface typically resembles the historic gangster Alfonso El Capone, nicknamed Scarface, and is often personified as the 1920s gangster. It has been used by the Arnold Wesker and Peyton Riley irritations of the ventriloquist. So we know the ventriloquist uses a dummy, and the dummy is alive, and he is the villain. The other guy who just controls him, it's like his personality gets sucked into this. He's just like a blank slate, just holding the dummy, which is cool. This is one of the cooler, lesser known Batman villains. So the puppet that would become Scarface was carved out of the Blackgate Penitentiary gallows by an inmate called Donnie Gunn, named Woody. The inmate used him to perform for other prisoners. When Arnold Wesker was imprisoned, he shared the cell with Don Gain and Woody. Apparently urged to be the puppet, Wesker murdered Donegan during the struggle. Woody was scared, though the puppet Wesker began projecting a more violent personality inspired by the 1920 film's gangsters. Dubbed Scarface, it would join the ventriloquist during his criminal activities. So we find out a little bit of the history of Arnold Wesker, how he got the dummies. He was in Blackgate Prison with um, Donnie Gain, and he murdered him in this, I would assume, like a riot or something that happened. And so he picked up the puppet, and it was instant chemistry, pretty much. And so he really, I'm guessing Arnold really liked like the gangster movies, and so that's why he portrayed him as a Scarface instead of Woody, which is kind of cool. Wesker appears to have been the only person who could use Scarface successfully. During periods when Wesker was absent or thought dead, other users of him met with almost instant disaster. For some reason, the dummy could not pronounce the letter B, meaning his worst enemy was Gatman. So that's pretty cool. So others have tried to be the dummy holder for Scarface, and they could not succeed. And only Wesker is the only one who can really control him, I guess you could say, or use him. And the dummy can't pronounce the word B, so he's calling Batman Gatman, which is kind of funny as well. So, main article. The Ventriloquist and Scarface DC Animated Universe. Scarface appeared alongside the Ventriloquist during Batman the Animated Series and the new Batman Adventures. The puppet is continuously destroyed throughout the episode, though it is regularly recreated by Arnold in Arkham Arts and Crafts. Scarface is finally destroyed in Double Talk when Wesker shoots it into a fan. However, one of the puppets is seen displayed in in the Batcave during Batman Beyond, though it is unconfirmed whether it is the puppet the ventriloquist uses or a replica. So that's pretty cool. So Wesker destroys him, throwing him into a fan. But yeah, in Batman Beyond, we see Scarface in like a displayed, and now we're wondering, is that the real one? Is that a dummy? Is that a replica? We don't know, and that's pretty cool, and that's where we leave off. So I hope you really enjoyed this one shot of the ventriloquist and Scarface. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you get notified all the other great videos. And until then, this is a good one. This is Dan, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on collecting.